Hello, my name is RagingRaptor and now welcome to another in-depth preview video. We're going to have a look at the Carro d'assalto 88. 88? I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure, I'm not fully Italian. And, well, this tank, it's special, to say the least. Like, we already had a look at the tier 8 tank and it's a little bit underwhelming. This tank, it has potential, but stats-wise, just underwhelming as well. Well, let's just dive in right here and give the Algortyhmgang something to watch at. We have the AMX M4, the 45 TP and the Tiger 1 as an example tank or a comparison tanks. And yeah, the Carro has a 240 alpha gun with 202mm of base penetration and 220mm of APCR penetration and a base TPM with 9 seconds reload time of just 1600. That is as bad as the tier 8 Tech 3 vehicle has it. Yeah, already here I have to say, nope, the gun is definitely not going to be the strong suit of the Carro. Like, this is just atrociously bad DPM. A lot of people already said, yo, we don't really like the Tiger 1's premium penetration, it is bad, it's just 237. And now we even have less than that. And sure, you could say, well, Raging, why you're complaining? Look at the IS, it just has 175mm base penetration. And it just has 197 premium penetration? Or was it 217, I think. I'm not sure anymore. But then I have to say, yeah, but you have a 390 alpha gun, which is quite punchy. You have 122mm of caliber, which is enough to overmatch 40mm armor plates. Where meanwhile here, the Carro, with its 88mm gun, can't even overmatch 30mm armor plates, which are found on countless tanks, most notably the Stridswagen S1. So, even compared to the AMX M4, which is known to not have a very good DPM, but has very decent shell penetration and very decent soft stats on the gun itself, has more DPM. So I'm a little bit... yeah, I'm not happy with that. I'm genuinely not happy with that, and I feel like... gun, not a strong suit of this vehicle. How is it looking with the soft stats? And once again, we are getting a little bit downplayed right here. 0.42 accuracy base, 2.5 seconds aim time, whole accuracy of 0.22, and turret accuracy of 0.14. Like, even the 45 TP, which is known to be an accurate gun, has more accuracy than our Carro. It even has better aim time, 2.3 seconds versus the 2.5. Sure, the aim times are the same with the Tiger 1 and the AMX M4. However, please don't forget, both tanks, the Tiger 1 and the AMX M4, have better soft stats, and they have much better base accuracy, 0.34 and 0.36 versus the 0.42. And this is a difference you're going to notice around 300 to 500 meters, you know? And the fact that it also has bad soft stats in general makes it not really that enjoyable to play in close quarter encounters, because you usually in close quarter encounters you constantly have to adjust your gun and maybe even snap and hope that you hit a shot at 50 meters, you know. And having such poor stats in general will just be quite a hard thing to do then. So I'm just sitting here like, I don't really know what Wargaming is playing with this tank. Like, maybe the armor is amazing, but then again, the T29 has also amazing turret armor and has not that bad gun stats, you know? At least has a 320 alpha gun. And actually not 1600 DPM, as far as I know. Sure, 8 degrees of gun oppression, that's great. You can work with that very, very well. 20 degrees of gun revelation, I take it. That's also something usually you forget about it, but it can be very useful and can be very helpful. 31 degrees per second turret traverse, that's actually the fastest value of the bunch we have right here, which is great. We have 25 degrees of whole traverse speed, which is the worst, or second to worst, excuse me. The AMX M4 is worse in that regard, but not that much, you know. But, and I guess that's the strong suit of this vehicle, it has great mobility. 14.4 HP per ton ratio with 45 kph top speed and 12 kph reverse speed. It has 5 kph better top speed than the Tiger 1 with actually having better power to weight ratio as well. So that is actually very, very good. It allows you to go into contested positions, like for example, Chinese border, Empire Sport, excuse me, to go onto this plateau where you can start shooting at the people which are still arriving at the plateau. That is a very, very strong feature of tanks, which are fast enough to do such plays, and that's something which a lot of people underestimate. Sure, you are a little bit more exposed to artillery, but shooting down at people below you is just such a great Obi-Wan Kenobi strategy. It works well, very much. But that is really the only thing I'm seeing with this tank. Like, the AMX M40, he is built to snipe because its armor is bad. It's basically trash. The Tiger one actually got an armor buff on a turret, so it's not that bad anymore, but it's still more of a sniper tank with amazing DPM and 1,500 hit points. And the 45 DP, well, it has a good turret. Let's go in there and smack some 300 alpha rounds around, or 320 alpha rounds around. That is good. That's good enough. The 45 TP is a solid tier 7 heavy tank. And here's just the problem. On paper, the armor actually looks fairly strong on the Carro. 100 millimeters of upper front plate. Yeah, that's forgettable. The angling is good, but I don't think it will hold off a lot of rounds. At least not same tier or higher tiered rounds. But the turret has 220 millimeters of armor. Now that is juicy. That is actually very, very spicy. The question is, however, where is this armor located? Is it just in the gun mantle? We're just going to have a look at in a second. Or is it also the turret face? 350 meters of view range? Yeah, that's garbage. But you can see Wargaming is trying to make it a little bit similar to the 45 TP, which also even has 50 HP less. It has 4 crew members, as did the tier 8 and the tier 9. The tier 10 only has 3. Keep that in mind. And the premium have also 4. Now, again, we can purely do jump guesstimations right here. We don't have any armor models yet, and those tanks are still in SuperTest, but there will probably very soon a new test server, I would say. I'm pretty confident to say that in the middle of November we'll have 1.11 test server with those vehicles. But okay, armor upper front plate has a decent angling. 100 millimeters, it will be able to bounce, especially when you're using your 8 degrees of gun depression, which are enjoyable to use. But now let's have a look at the turret. The turret frontal face looks fairly thick, you know? It looks like these are 220 millimeters of armor. Now is the question, is this bulbous or bulged shape from the gun mantlet also 220 millimeters thick? Or is this part just spaced armor for the gun mantle behind it? Who knows? And that's the big point, because from this perspective, we do not see if this tank has a cupola or not. So, is this Wargaming's way to balancing tanks without weak spots on a turret? To give them very bad DPM and very bad gun handling? It might be. It really might be. I am still a little bit careful with calling tanks nice when they don't have any turret weak spots, because then we get stuff like the Chieftain and the Super Conqueror, you know, which aren't really enjoyable to play against, because it's very easy to hide their weak spots or completely nullify those weak spots, and you have to use gold rounds to even try penetrating them. And this might be the same issue for this tank as well. And I'm just asking myself, why not give, like, if this, again, big if the turret face is homogeneous 220 millimeters, why not give it somewhere a weak spot on the turret, but give it at least some decent-ish soft stats for the gun? Because inaccurate guns are just painful to use, and they are inducing a lot of frustration for players and teams, because obviously when you are constantly missing your shots and it's not your own fault, it just tells you a lot more, and it might be the reason why you're losing the game. And this just feels to me that maybe in this state, without ever having played the Carro and still being SuperTest, that it might be, you know, a bad trade-off, you know, having an almost impenetrable turret frontally without gold rounds, for having atrocious gun stats, you know. Mobility is fine. Again, mobility is fine, and I'm looking forward to zoom around with this tank, at least zooming what a heavy can do. But really not sure. We'll see what Wargaming is going to do with it. Again, this is still SuperTest, so characteristics are not final at all, and they're going to change. And will be interesting to see how the Carro d'Assalto Ottantotto is going to perform. It looks like an interesting vehicle. It really does. But so far, I have to say, big. maybe something will change. We'll see. Maybe it's not as bad as I think, and maybe I'm overvaluing good soft stats when the armor is actually good, you know. We'll see. And you will see as well if you give me some feedback. Again, thank you so much for being my algorithm crew. I kind of have a feeling that it's going to be a occurring theme. And if it's actually something people enjoy, like the Algortyhmgang or something, we might have to do something with that. Because, fun story, I actually do enjoy algorithms a lot. Especially, I am a person which is often, when it comes to exercises in mechanical engineering, if it is statics or mechanics, I'm usually always searching for an algorithm I can work through to make this exercise being completely correct, you know. So, on one hand, you found my hidden pet peeve in that sense. I like algorithms. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment if you really enjoyed the video. Don't forget to share the video around. And yo boys, almost 9,000 subs hype. That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great time. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, boys.